Oh yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, like okay, we're gonna find some folk music to play. Let's see what I'm gonna hear. Now we're gonna do it, baby. All right. Yeah. All right. Ooh, this is good. It says flat drum. Okay. Of Ivor Sholabundan. Copenhagen Records. So this helps me. I was looking today some of my old pictures from my Swedish ancestors, and one thing I found out here. I'm going to turn this down real quick. My great great grandfather was 100% Irish, and was talking about how he would sit around the table and he would tell stories, and I was like, wow, you know. So I got a funny story. My grandfather, O'Dillon, he had this bum, okay, and he was coming onto his farm and he was burying a bottle of alcohol. And my grandfather got tired of his bullshit. So he goes and he digs the bottle up and he pours it out, and then he pisses in it. He pisses in it and he puts it back where it was. And he sat there one day and waited because he was tired of that guy. And I guess he saw the guy drank it and made a nasty sour face, and he never came back to his property again. But that's how my grandfather dealt. I'm like, wow, holy shit, I knew I got it from somewhere. God damn it. So I have a similar story. All right, I don't know if I should tell this story. Should I? We'll see, feel the vibe. If I feel the vibe, I'll tell the story. You're like, just tell me. Okay, so we had these two chicks in our neighborhood, and they would bully everybody. And so one of them's name was Catherine, but we called her Cat. She's nice now. She's, you know what I mean, but at the time she wasn't very nice. So she began to sharpen her nails, all right? And she would file her shit down so it was a fucking razor, and then put like a little press-on nails on, so it was her weapons. So for any reason, they felt like they'd walk up and claw your hand, and I still have scars. Like then they would pierce into your flesh with their claws, you know. So I got tired of this shit. I was doing it to all the boys. And I got so bad with my older brother that he just said, fuck it. Stop going outside. And he was mad. All right. So one day, I'm like, I had these these chicks have been doing this shit for a long time. And it's got tired of it. All right. One of them was my sister, my friend's older sister. All right. And she was like the same grade as me or something. So sometimes when girls like you, they pick on you. And that's a fucked up move. But they do it. So anyway, I didn't like her. Because she was, you know, she wasn't nice. She was bitchy. So no thanks. You know what I'm saying? It's like wakey wakey. Bad attitude means men won't want to be around you. Okay? We get the message. Fuck off. Okay? So oh my God. So we would get these big boxes of Otter Pops. All right. And you'd freeze them. They'd be like different colors and flavors. And you're like, I know where this is going. Yeah, I know. So tired of being picked on. They liked Otter Pops. The big one. She was super tall, even at that age. She's almost 6 feet tall. She's super tall. And so I come out and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys want an Otter Pop? Me and my friend, who had also been getting picked on, he was from Africa. We had made a plan. So we decided we would empty an Otter Pop and then we would piss in it and freeze it. So we made 2 of them. And myself and my friend, we walk up and we go, oh, hey, yeah, we got a Otter Pop. Oh, wait, it was just me. And then Cubby was her name. So she's like, oh, yeah, okay. And so, hey, I normally wouldn't do this, but God damn it, what do you expect? So I hand the piss popsicle to her. And she goes to kind of push it up. We had frozen it, And she's like, and she takes the tip of her tongue to it. She goes, selfie. And she knew immediately. She fucking goes ballistic. She just throws it on the ground. She's chasing me and my friend. And we are just laughing our asses off hysterically. And we were like, you shouldn't have messed with us. And we're running away. We're all, ha, 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 which made her even more pissed because she couldn't catch us. But she brought it on herself by being such a jerk. You know what I mean? So the point of the matter is, the moral of the story is to have, good treatment of others, because it might result in something like that. You know what I'm saying? And if I was being an asshole, maybe I would deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even feel bad. Those chicks should have known better. Don't fuck with people enough. They're gonna get pissed. You disregard people, they're gonna treat you the same. And then you expect to be acknowledged when you didn't acknowledge them. Doesn't even make sense. So it's like later on, both those ladies turned out to be good ladies, Would I do that shit as an adult? No. But at that age, at 12 years old, you don't give a damn. You're like, fuck it. You fucked with me, here you go. And the scars. So it's like, compare what she did. Leave a permanent fucking scar on somebody. Well, you can do that emotionally too. Right? Think about it. Women don't think about this shit. You think of everything as being physical. Mm-hmm. With guys. No. You can fucking hurt a dude. And women know that shit. And since you're more potent emotionally, you should know that. Obviously. But I have a high emotional IQ. I know I'm having a soda. I don't normally drink this shit. Makes me feel good. I got this lavender from the Ukraine. That was cool. Really good, potent, strong lavender. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, sourced out of the Ukraine. I was like, wow, cool. Made me feel connected to mother country. Right? As I've learned through my studies. So I have a story my mom wrote about my great-great-grandfather. See, and so this is special to me. So why would I want to get up here and have trolls rip my family to shreds being bitch asses? Hell no. But I'm going to tell my stories, and I haven't had any trolls in a long time, so that's good. I don't want any. All right. Now, I want you to remember that last names can be taken and used, right? Now listen to this. And I know for a fact my family is 100% Swedish on the Swedish side. So what does, let's see, Woodland Mountain is what Rydberg means, right? Remember that last name? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of my grandfathers actually ended up getting adopted by another Swedish family. Okay? Because the The man was of a higher class status than the woman, so they couldn't get married. And that resulted in my grandfather on my Swedish side having to get raised by a foster family. So, yeah. So Selma Rydberg Dillon, that's my great grandmother. She's one of those 94 that could fucking remember shit like a computer. It's amazing. All right. Let's see. Get to the story here. Talking about churning butter. But like the biggest note to me was the sitting around the table, right, during dinner time, telling stories. So I have Larson, son of Lars. My great grandfather is Lars Larson. And I was like, wow. So my great grandfathers didn't come here until later. So what does that mean? That means I have an old bloodline. No wonder I feel shit so strong. I'm not hundreds and hundreds of years beyond it. And another thing I found out is my family has connections to Percheron draft horses. There's no way I could have known that. I didn't have connections with my extended family. Nope. Single mom. People that have all this extended family around don't realize it. But I've worked with horses this big, the 16, 17 hands is what it says on the Percheron draft horse. That's an English war horse. Okay, origin. And I'm sure there's one further back than that, but that's what I was told by my head knight when I was doing squiring and traveling the country. And then I remember growing up, and my mom had a bread mill. Okay, at one time you would have been hand grinding, like my grandmother would have been doing that. Put it in your little grinder, turn the wheel, right? Butter churning, farming and cabinet building were like the two main biggest things you'd be doing in Sweden. And my grandfather did both of those. So, okay. And looking at his beard. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Let's see. When great grandmother Selma Dingus, this was written for, anyway, was 10 or 11 years old. She churned butter. Cream was separated from the milk. Her brothers brought it into the house from the barn. Cream was poured into the churn. The lid was put onto the paddle handle and placed into the churn. Great grandmother would move the stick up and down for a long time. The fats from the cream would separate from the watery part of the cream. See, this is written so little kids can understand it, right? And so, anyway, so you would go through the process doing that. So that would be my great grandmother. All right. Okay, let's see. A quote from one of my great grandmothers, Dylan, said, "You get to churn another batch of butter." Whatever, I don't know. That's what happened. My mother was not happy. Says that exclamation. My mom wrote this, so it's like, see, this is special. I don't want to be like out here trying to do this shit. No commercials on this shit, that's for sure. Anyway, I think it's nice to have a personal channel where you can do stuff like this where you don't have to commercialize it, You could have both, Okay. Ooh, the fish that swallowed the hook. Let's see what this is. One such tale involved a fishing trip with his children. It's about my great grandfather, Dylan. He would talk about the time he tried to get the hook out of the fish he caught, but could not because the fish had swallowed it. He pulled and pulled until finally the fish turned inside out. Wow. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Prohibition follies. Okay. I don't know. During the years when alcohol was not allowed in our country, people really wanted to have some alcohol. Oh my God. Check, here's the story. Great great grandfather Dylan told the story of a hobo, homeless man, burying his bottle of alcohol on the farm for safekeeping. Great great grandfather Dylan did not like this. He's like me. I'm told. So he decided to do something about it. He dug up the bottle, emptied it, and filled it with cow pee. What a nasty surprise the hobo got. I lied. Enjoy that. Fuck yeah. Oh, well, my grandpa was old world. He didn't care. He's like, oh, rah. Oh, shit. Oh, Lord. Save us, got us. Okay. Choke cherry heaven. I don't know what this is. My mother told me about her brother, Charles. He really loved choke cherries. He would pick a bunch, then climb way up to the top of the cottonwood tree and eat the berries. In Wyoming, the wind really blows. The wind would blow so hard, it would bend the tops of the cottonwood tree back and forth. Charles would be swaying back and forth in the top of the tree, happily eating choke cherries. Oh my God, that's like me when I was a little kid. Climb the tree, hang off the branches. Okay, let's see. My mother grew up in Wheatland, Wyoming. Wheatland is located in the southeastern corner of Wyoming. Later, her family moved to Corvallis, Oregon. Okay. My mother said she was a friendly but shy person. See, back then it was just different. I don't know. You didn't have the internet, you know. I remember seeing my grandfather's grave for the first time. And he died young. He was only 34 years old, but he had gotten a major fever. So my mom grew up without a father, basically. And then her mom remarried, and that guy turned out to be a child molester. And so he ended up molesting my mom and her sisters, which they overcame. And here it was, my grandmother struggling to keep her family together. Her friend was like, oh yeah, I got a guy you can hook up with. And he was, you know, piece of shit. So in that town, there was a group of church members, right? Church of the Nazarene or some bullshit. And they were targeting kids. And that's why that is a big deal to me. That's, you know, my trigger. Because protection of innocence is a big deal. It affected my family. That's why I make a big deal about it. Okay. My mother told us about the huge meals the ranch hands ate. Yeah, you were busting your ass back then. You had fucking eaten some shit. Their breakfast consisted, not literally, you know what I mean? You'd be eating a big meal. Pancakes, bacon, steak, biscuits, whole milk, cream, and butter. And what? So much food. Yeah. You had to eat like that because you were working hard. Mom said the cowboys ate a lot because they burned so many calories working very hard on the ranch. Yep. Mom and Dad moved back to Corvallis. See, and that's the thing I was saying. I'm not from Utah. Army's my bloodlines aren't. So that's why I was treated different because I'm not from here. Oregon, California. Okay. And settled down on my father's parents' farm to raise turkeys and grow alfalfa. That's what people did. And vetch. I don't know what that is. So my Aunt Margaret, she passed away. My sister Margaret, my brother William Kenneth Jr., see, and I look like my uncle. In fact, we have the same birthday. So that's cool. He's named after my grandfather. He's still alive. But he had heart surgery recently, so anyway, he survived that. It was scary for me at first because of the history of my family and my grandfather dying of a heart condition, you know. that fever damaged his heart. So that's why I said be careful with emotions. That's why I'm a heart teacher. You hear? No, I know. Central core and intention is the key. Without that, you're just going around being disconnected. Ah, so here's a Percheron horse. Right? Those are the type of horses I worked with. He didn't have a trim tail or anything like that. This is really cropped. Okay. This is a picture of a Percheron draft horse. They are very, very big. Yes, they are. Dragon was a mix. He was a Frisian and a Perch. That's a nice horse. That's a freaking thoroughbred. The average Percheron is between 16 and 17 hands, 64 to 68 inches at the top of their backs. My mother was 5'2". Yeah, so my grandmother was short. She said, when she sat on Tony, he was so wide, her legs stuck straight out. Oh my God. My grandmother had an awesome sense of humor. I love that. Still remember her laugh. She had a shoulder laugh. Mom had a great sense of humor. She loved puns. Oh, that's funny. Art of the pun. Well, English was her major shit, being a writer. Yeah. Not just that, but like master level. A pun is a form of wordplay, okay, that suggests two or more meanings by exploiting multiple meanings of words or of similar sounding words. For an intended humorous effect, an example of a pun is my face, I don't mind it, for I am behind it. The fella in front gets the jar. Jar could mean a glass jar or being startled suddenly by someone or something. I would love to help you out. Which way did you come in? My mom loved to recite rhymes and songs she learned as a child. So that very much reminds me of that Irish sensibility of humor, which my grandfather had for sure. Okay, so that's it for that. That was short. Okay. I'm being selective about what I show. And get to see all my stuff. It's private, man. Should I show this? I think I should. This was the picture I was going to show you. You want to see how hardcore my family was? Oh, yeah. I'll show you. I have to cover it, though. You can't see the other ones. But let's see. Can you see it? Hold on. Get a better light. But see him? Right there? The beard? Look at the way she's dressed. Does that look like people acted trashy back then? No, definitely not. That dress that my grandmother had on was more than likely handmade. Okay. Got another story here, and it's about my Swedish grandfather, Gustav Rydberg. Okay, so it's from, let's see, Svennerums Soken, Sweden. Okay, well, let's see. Franz, interesting. My father was Franz August Rydberg, the bookkeeper and custodian at Lindfors Ironworks. See, Småland, Sweden. My mother was Sophia Djarf, Djarf, a maid at the same manor. Under such circumstances, see, this is the story. It was almost impossible for them to marry on account of their different social standing. For neither intelligence nor beauty meant hereby much. Wow. That made me cry. Wow. In the meantime, it's hard for me to speak. It makes me sad. In the meantime, my father rented a place in which my brother, in which my mother could live. Here I was born at above mentioned date. Okay, so we're going here. I'm gonna go down. Wow. But anyway, it resulted in my grandfather having to be adopted. Wow. Holy crap. What is this? Whoa. In the meantime, Papa became poor in health, left the service of the army, bought a small home called the Dale, where he could take care of 2 or 3 cows and a few sheep. We moved there when I was 8 years old, and I lived there until I was married. Papa was an enthusiastic laborer and handy at woodworking. What did I say? I began early to work and help with any work that came along. After I was confirmed, okay, all this, I began to go out and work for farmers. At first, received 32 and 36, or I don't know what that is, for a 14 to 16-hour workday. This money I was allowed to keep as spending money. Okay, interesting. Now, this is what caught my interest down here. I became acquainted with Carolina, whoa, who became my companion throughout life. Whoa. Wow. At this time, a new home industry in our vicinity was started, which at first was, see, I looked at what happened to the ports. My grandfathers had to leave Sweden because of that. The economy was getting shut down. The fishing industry was getting lost. And they depended on that to survive, right? Let's see. Wow. Oh, October 17th, 1868, I was married to Carolina Petersdotter from Slottereed. I don't know. It's hard to say all this stuff. This partnership was grounded on and continued in love, trust, and peace. See, that's old school. So one can, without exaggeration, say it was an ideal union, subscribing to mother the best part. Wow, that's pretty cool. In 1868, we moved to, let's see, Morkhultet, where we lived until we traveled to America in 1883. There was born 6 of the children, namely Carl August, who died when he was 3, Franz Emil, who died in Wheatland, Wyoming, 1907, so they lost 2 children. Jenny Christina, Wilhelmina, and Selma Naomi. Okay. We worked hard there and improved the looks of the place a great deal. So I'm mainly up to my grandmother, Swedish and Irish, right? Wow. But you see, personal connection was a bigger deal back then. You even see, like, the way people write, you know? Oh, wow. Talking about, like, catching pneumonia. Because things, wow. So, one of my great aunts actually took down some of these stories. But that was a big deal, especially with my grandfather having to be adopted like that. And then my grandmother being left without a husband and pregnant because of social bullshit. So I can see why it's a big deal to me, Personal relationship is a big deal. But that means woodland, right? Mountain or something like that. But I think people could kind of assume somebody else's last name. And mainly you were named after the first name of, your father or somebody, something related to where you lived, like a trade your family would have been involved in, right? So you would say, this is your first name and this is what you do, which is your last name. Where I looked at a lot of my connections and I started seeing just royal lines everywhere. I'm like, what the whoa, But the difference in, say, attitude toward relationship in the old school was totally different. But that's cold, man. Damn. You're like, oh, sorry, your status isn't good enough. It's like, it kind of makes me wonder about that dude to be like, hey, bro, if you loved her, maybe you should just, but he chose position over love. And that is the problem. Right? Wow. I would not do that. I would choose love. And that's what I've decided for my life. I'm not doing that. And that's symbolic to me and my family, considering that story. That would hurt a lot. It's like you get it on, they're attracted to you, and then you end up pregnant with no husband. That's lonely. No. Mm-mm. See, to me, that's wrong thinking. But different era, That's why I also say women take a lot more risk in a sexual situation than a man does, because especially if you're young, you could be giving up precious years of your life for that choice. However, you adapt to what is, right? So can make it a positive or a negative depending. I haven't done that. I don't have children, but I see that situation and I say, no way. You better true love, you know what I'm saying? That is old school. Ultimately, but then another part of it is, marrying because you think you have to or whatever the deal is. So choosing love, that relationship will last, in my opinion, of course. Wow. Okay. What should I do? That was deep. Wow. Still thinking about that. But just, the image of her alone in third semester pregnancy, and then my grandfather having to grow up like that and not have help. But that made him independent and strong, right? And you kind of get this attitude that your only worth is when you can work. And that's how my grandfather was. He's like, considered himself worthless once he couldn't physically do anything. But I don't think that that's right, but that's how hard life was. It's what a lot of people don't recognize and realize how fortunate they are to have survived, to been born healthy. And if you had both parents in the household, then you have an advantage. And you have to recognize that over people that did not have that. You might have a hard time relating to them, right? And you go, I don't understand why he's so sensitive, because we didn't have it easy. And you go, well, I shouldn't feel bad for this. No, but maybe you should have some sensitivity for other people. You catch what I mean?
Any idea what they're going to do with it?
And not having that is the same thing as, like, say, an officer arresting an autistic man and beating the hell out of him. He doesn't understand at all. Anyway. This is called A Letter to Elise from the Cure a Wish album. Need a positive boost. Dedicate this to my grandmother, who overcame all that shit so I could be here.
What you say, I just can't stay here every yesterday. Like, keep on acting out the same way we act out. Every way to smile, forget and make believe we never needed any more than this. Any more than this. You do. I know I'll never really get inside of you to make your eyes catch fire the way they should. The way the blue could pull me in if they only would, if they only would. At least I'd lose this sense of sensing something else that hides away from me and you. The worlds to part with, aching looks and breaking hearts and all the prayers your hands can make. But I just take as much as you can throw and then throw it all away. Oh, I throw it all away. Like throwing faces at the sky, like throwing arms round yesterday. I stood and stared wide-eyed in front of you, and in face I sort of.
From the edge of the deep green sea.
Mandalorian took some high-value target and went rogue.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, one of my favorites. Oh, yeah. Oh, love.
Every time we do this, I fall for love. Wave after wave after wave, it's all for love. I know this can't be wrong. to keep our happiness long time. Know that you know today we're wrong. I agree with to believe it. So I try, put your hands in the sky. Surrender, remember, we will be here forever. We'll never say goodbye.
Never say goodbye. Never say.
Don't go away. Don't let this end. Please stay. Suddenly she slows, looks at it but breaking face. Why do you cry? What did I say? It's just rain. Smile.
Prayers for rain. No commercial, no. The Cure, Prayers for Rain. Baby. I know. That's how I keep myself happy. Takes a lot. Prayers for rain. Prayers for rain. Prayers for rain. Sovereignty, not in some way. Prayers for rain. Prayers for rain. Prayers for rain. Oh, yeah. Prayers for rain. Wait. Prayers for rain. Say. Prayers for rain. Oh. Not in the way. Yeah. Prayers for rain. In the pouring rain. Oh. In the pouring rain. Oh. In the pouring rain. Hey, yeah. Deep down. great-great-grandfather's closet. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, oh. Respiration. Whoa. Respiration. Oh.
Trap the hours I'll spend on killing time again. All waiting for the rain.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
You fracture me, your hands on me, touch so flame, so stale and careless, strangle me, entangle me in hopelessness, and press the rain. I deteriorate, I live in dirt, nowhere close but drearily and tired. The hours I'll spend on killing time. Waiting for the rain.
I am not a piece of trash, said quiet, root down and shake. Oh, respirate. Oh, Respirate. Oh. Oh, Spirit of the Lord, say, respirate. Oh, as the ground shakes, oh, hey, as the ground shakes, oh, yeah, respirate, respirate. Respirate. Oh, respirate. 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 Oh, oh, respirate. Respirate. Hey. Oh, hey. Respirate. Oh. Whoa. That's deep. It's been a long time. Oh, we don't want that.
What's going on?
I think I woke the magical spirits of the
going on,
enchanted
but
forest.
Okay,
it
that's
might
definitely
be
not
a
what I thought you were going to
commercial
say.
of some kind, but since I'm doing covers, it's all. Whatever. Do what you want. I do not have to agree with you. If you hear. Okay, no. Now we're going to do this. Are we ready? Closed caption. Yes. How closed caption? It is so full. You don't even know what to say. Gone full. Are we gonna do it? We're doing it. Ooh. Do I dare? Maybe this is for you. If it's who I think it is, she'll know. Yeah. I like the song. I don't know about the video. It is what it is. Predating the internet, I like this song.
All the poetry and the trunk.
Carolina, okay. From my grandmother's.
I knew that it would come to that someday. Like a sad hallucination, when I opened up my eyes, you traded past the station, and you were trapped inside. And I never wonder where you went. I only wonder why. I wonder why. Oh, Caroline.
Okay, different song. Tomorrow Windy. This is a hardcore song. Remember this. It's a good song. Wow. 1990.
It is complete now. Two ends of time are neatly tied. A one-way street. She's walking to the end of the line, and there she meets the faces she keeps in her heart and mind. They say goodbye. Tomorrow, Wendy, you're going to die. Tomorrow, Wendy, you're
I had a friend of mine, another lady I knew from the goth scene, and one night she wandered off drunk. She'd been mixing pills, whatever, and they found her by the side of the irrigation ditch or something. And she had passed away at a young age. But her parents would leave her alone for long periods of time, you know, and that's where that isolation comes in, where that could happen. But I remember her and do my best to have positive memories of her. So I dedicate this song to her because she likes this song.
going to die. Underneath the chilly gray November sky, we can make believe that Kennedy is still alive, and we're shooting for the moon, and smiling Jack is driving by, and they say good try. Tomorrow, Wendy, you're going to die. Tomorrow, Wendy is going to die. I told the priest, don't count on any second coming. God got his ass kicked the first time he came down here slumming. He had the balls to come and God to die and then forgive us. No, I don't wonder why, I wonder what he thought it would get us. Hey, hey, goodbye.
Different song. That was making me
Where
sad.
did you learn magic?
I was born with it.
Takes me back in time. Yeah. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. Yeah. Well, everybody knows.
The dice are loaded.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
that the war is over. Everybody knows that the good guy's lost.
Don't try to take me over.
Fixed. The poor stay poor.
I'm just wanting to be
That's how it goes.
free. Yeah. Well.
The boat is sinking. Everybody knows that the captain lied.
Well.
Everybody's got this broken feeling, like their mama or the dog just died. Everybody's hands are in their pockets. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem roll.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
knows. Yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. Yeah, you know.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that it's now or never. Everybody knows that it's me or you. Everybody knows that you're there forever. When you had a line or two. Everybody knows the deal is rotten. Old Black Joe still picking cotton for you with a toe.
Everybody
Love me, baby.
Right,
Everybody knows that you really do. Everybody knows that you've been faithful. Can it take a night or two? Everybody knows you've been discreet. So many people you had to meet without your clothes. And
Everybody knows. Yeah.
everybody knows. Everybody
knows. That's the way it goes.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows.
All right. Now we're going hardcore. Not bad. Good God.
Undeniable.
Save us from that commercial. I got to get faster on that shit. So sorry. Yeah. Oh, shit. See if you can figure this out. I played it before. Well, which way, baby? Oh, Trouble in Paradise. I know. Should I see? I haven't looked at the screen in a while. Come on. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, it's coming and a blood stain on your lips. Yeah. You are a vampire, baby, I'm the walking dead.
You were a vampire, baby, I'm a walking dead. Oh, you were a vampire, baby, I'm a walking dead.
Oh, yeah.
There's a rocking chair by the window down the hall. Here's something there in the shadow down the hall. Oh, you
A vampire, baby, I'm the walking dead. Yeah. You were a vampire, baby, I'm the walking dead. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, just a little bit. I'll be right around the corner, baby. Where you going? I'm ready for you. I'm a wrecking crew with just one. Step up, baby, come on. Oh, do you want to dance with me? All right. Will you go dance with me? Will you? We'll see. Yeah. Dance in the garden in the middle of the night. Ooh, you were a vampire, maybe I'm the walking dead. right. Yeah. Okay. Now, what should we do next? Oh, gotta do something really good now. After that. Oh my God. Oh, we'll do God is a bullet. Okay. All right. Now, Robert's going to have to temporarily go take care of some business. Be back shortly. The next little bit. Don't be afraid. I shall return. I'm still here.
There's a green plaid jacket on the back of the chair. It's like a moment frozen forever there. Mom and Dad had a lot of big plans for their little man. So proud. Mama's gone crazy cause her baby's cut down by some teenage car chase. War out of bounds. It was the wrong place, wrong time, wrong end of a gun. Son, shoot straight from the hip, yeah. Gone forever in a tree, gotta slip. Well, it could have been your brother. Shoot straight.
Back, babies.
To kill you. Blame each other, will blame yourself. You know, God is a bullet, have mercy on us, everyone.
Yeah.
They're gonna call me sir, they'll all stop picking on me. Well, I'm a high school grad, I'm over 5'3". I get a badge and a gun and I'm joining the PD. They say he didn't have to use the gun they put in his hand, but when the guy came at him, well, he panicked and ran, and it's a 30 long year, so they give him another chance. And it's sad, shoot straight from the hip, yeah. It's all gone and I trigger to slip. Well, it could have been your mother.
Yeah.
Shoot straight, shoot to kill you. Blame each other, blame yourself. You know, God is the bullet, have mercy on us, everyone.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, no commercials. No commercials. Thank you.
Feeling the fire under my feet. I was a liar.
You are a cheat.
Close to the bone. You're so alone. Something to have,
Something to hold.
something to share. So I've been told. Deep in your eyes, you're 100 years old. 'Cause the years have not been kind to you, you know. You know.
Heal me. Oh. Heal me. Oh. Heal me. Oh.
Feeling void in my soul. Feeling my feelings so out of control. 'Cause the years have not been kind to me at
Woo. Wow. She's amazing. She's in parties. She's in the con. I know. Okay, here we go. Love and Rocket's Still Alive. I haven't done this yet. Oh shit. Sexy song. Okay. I'll do my best. I don't know. I'll just enjoy it, you know. Color your eyes are, baby, but your hair is long and blonde.
your legs are strong.
You're so long.
You don't come from this town.
Wow.
My head
It's
is
full of magic, baby.
I get the
I
shivers.
got the shiver.
Feel
Yeah.
I'm on the grass again lately, but there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
I haven't heard a lot of these songs in a long time, so I have to try. Oh, yeah. I know. I have this huge library of music in my brain. Oh, yeah. I know. You like this. I like it. It's good stuff. Oh, here we go. Here's another Big Goth song. Same band. Haunted When the Minutes Drag. This is totally fits right now. You know what I'm saying?
That would best describe this feeling
Would be haunted.
I touch the clothes you left behind that still retain your shape and line still
Haunted. Yeah.
I trace the outline of your eyes, blue in the mirror, hypnotized and haunted. I find a solitary hand, cold and still I reminisce. I'm haunted, haunted by your soul. Haunted by your hair. Haunted by your clothes. Haunted by your eyes, by your soul, by your hair, by your clothes, by your eyes.
Easy on. Yeah. Ready? Oh my God, I forgot about this. Remembering all sorts of music.
This is for when you feel sad.
It's been a while. Okay, here we go. Anastasis? No. Do something else? No. What is it? They mix in some of their bullshit, but sometimes you get something good. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as their practice, their whatever they're into. Okay, let's. Oh wow! Live at Coachella, Dead Can Dance. Okay. It's been a while. Okay. The Carnival is over. Okay, that's a good song.
Outside, the storm clouds gathering, move silent.
Okay, I'm Act 2, the Mountain, Dead Can Dance. I don't know. I've never heard this. Or at least that I know of. Wow, quite the imagery they have. The mountain. Mountain. Wait. Spirit of the land calls. You hear? The hooves of the horses pounding upon the land. Do you hear? Spirit of the land calls. Spirit of the land calls. Spirit of the land. Web of weird. Web of word. Oh. I'm gonna flip that on the right on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep the lighting lower. Don't want it too bright.
Vill jag manos
Okay, new song. Can't take it anymore. I've got to get something from Sweden. Now we're gonna do Swedish folk. I'm switching. See how fast I do that? I don't know. Okay. Ooh, it'll be cool. Let's see. No.
Welcome to the Simply Crafted
Let's see.
Challenge.
Now it is Q. Let's see. Kolning, ancient Swedish herding call. All right. We're gonna do it. Waiting for the Kamurki to be over. Ooh. Oh, this is Sean Ashenton. Okay. Wow. Got the classic white dress on, right? I always wondered, I'm like, God, why is this shit so damn strong in me? Well, close bloodlines might have something to do with it, right? No moss. No more. I'll pick it up later. I think I just throw trash everywhere. No. Only when if I'm on live, then I go pick it up. I'm like, done with this. Throw it to the side like a Viking or something. Oh, Fawn, Walter, let's see, Walpurgis Nacht. The night, right? Reference to the night. Nacht. Fawn, I like this band too. Very folkish.
In den Abendhimmel steigen heute Nacht die Zauberweisen, wildes Volk und Liliths Art, lauernd Winde heimlich wach. Lasst uns zu den Feuern schreifen, raunend nach den Sternen greifen, Gutes und auch Böses Wort, tragen wir halt fort und fort. In den Weiden werden unsere Träume klingen und die Winde werden unsere Lieder singen. Lasst uns mit den Funken übers Feuer springen, in der Walpurgisnacht. Hört die Geigen, hört die Geigen. Feuer sind entfacht. Hört den Geigen, in der Walpurgisnacht. Im Spiel der Geigen dreht sich unser nächtlich Reigen und wir treten wild und frei diesem alten Zauber bei. Einmal nur im großen Kreise tanzen wir auf jene Reise, bis das erste Morgenlicht unser Traum bewegt. In den Weiden werden unsere Träume klingen und die Winde werden unsere Lieder singen. Lasst uns mit den Funken übers Feuer springen, in der Walpurgisnacht. Hört die Geigen, hört die Geigen. Feuer sind entfacht. Folgt den Reigen, in der Walpurgisnacht.
Ooh, that was a good song. I like that one. Very tribal. Let's see. Ooh, here's another one. Not almost done, but not quite. Oh. Wow. Like very pagan representation. Foreign god. right? Goddess. Nyckelharpa. That's what they're playing. It's from Sweden, my country. I even look like these guys. Look at me. Oh, no shit. Whoa. Ooh. Okay. Now we're going to a different song. Dies kommt not. This is like in some kind of castle.
Diese Nacht ist kalt und der Wind, der bläst durch unser Land. Und wer jetzt noch geht, ist ein Narr.
I like that they sing in their original language.
Weg
That's
zu der
cool.
Liebsten, die jede Reise lohnt. Oh, öffne mir, lass mich hinein. Ein Lied versteht im Mondenschein. Diese Nacht ist so kalt, so öffne mir, denn morgen wird es zu spät sein. Mein Vater wacht über Haus und Hof, meine Tür versperrt ein Eisenschloss und ich habe keinen Schlüssel dafür. Es führt heute Nacht kein Weg zu mir.
Okay. Different song. This will be Better Lead, a Fawn official video. Deutschland. Yep. And all this music, more than likely, predates 1900. Just saying. Way back. Old world. That's what I like. Beautiful. I even like the way they dress in the video. It's cool.
Ziehen die Vögel, wo mögen sie wohl morgen sein? Ich folge dem Rauschen der schwingenden Stille Mond. Uralte Lieder dringen aus den Nebeln vor. Komm und fliege mit uns fort. Lass den Wind dich tragen, weit fort von diesem Ort. Komm und flieg so hoch du kannst. Lass uns
I have to control myself. I have headphones on. You're like, this is not you at your highest level. Nope. This is me restrained. Except knocking over that shit yesterday. All of a sudden, bam, crash. Oh my God.
Weiter und weiter, wo find ich meiner Sehnsucht Ziel? Ich schließe die Augen und mir sprießt ein Federkleid. Schon spür
I have to get headphones that won't fall off.
und mache meine Flügel weit.
Okay.
Komm